This podcast is part of Mishmash Media. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Welcome to another episode of Curbcast. My name's Ivan.
And I'm Stephen.
And each week we review an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm and we talk about every scene and give our opinions on it, and we do it in chronological order. And Stephen, we are up to Season 5, Episode 9, The Korean Bookie.
Yeah, the second last episode of Season 5. I think I was saying last week or last time, it's been 2 weeks since we released an episode. They have a lot to sort of wrap up. You know, there's been quite a few moving parts this season, and I expected that this episode would start to tie them off, but it didn't. Another sort of standalone episode. It didn't really touch on the adoption storyline, or, you know, it was related to the ski lift, you know, obviously a lot of tie in there. But it just, I was surprised that they didn't start to wrap up, you know, the season-long storylines in this episode. But obviously they've got a lot planned for the final episode next week, the end.
Yes, they just wanted to talk about Oscar potentially
being dinner.
Eaten.
Yeah, being food. Did you like this week's episode, The Korean Bookie?
Actually, yeah, I didn't mind it. Actually, it was probably I think it was one of the weaker episodes.
Yeah.
I think I gave it a bit of a lower score than usual.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but I'm in agreement with you. It's like there was no real like tie up or any links with like the main story arc. Yeah, which is a bit annoying. I know Curb is like a series of random events at times, but yeah, you kind of want it to be part of the main story. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't part of the main story. It was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I felt like the episode, maybe it's just a me problem because I expected it to start tying up those, you know, mostly the adoption, because that's sort of been left alone for a while. But the episode, it just felt a bit unfocused. There was something felt a bit like unfinished. Or like It was a draft version. Like, it wasn't bad. But the last few weeks, I think I've mentioned each time we've recorded that the first time I've watched the last two episodes, episode 7 and 8, I thought they were average. But then when I watched them the second and third time, for me, they got better. So, you know, they went from a 2 or a 3 out of 5 to like a 4 out of 5. Whereas this one, I first watched it and I thought, oh, it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. But I expected it to get better. But it kind of didn't. It just stayed at that, like, yeah, it's okay. There was no lift in the second or third watch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah, just like it was a bit forgetful, actually.
Yeah.
And also, like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like even like the whole dog, you know, Asians eating dog thing.
Yeah, it's a bit
dated.
It's a bit of a tired trope. Like, you know, like Curb every week dabbles in controversial topics and taboo subjects for sure. But, you know, Koreans eating dogs, you know, or Asian people eating dogs, and it being a weird concept to Westerners, it's such well-trodden territory. It's a bit, sometimes Curb dabbles in subjects that have been done over and over again, but they tend to be able to like get something fresh out of it or have a take on it that is a bit, you know, it doesn't feel tired. Whereas this one, it was just like, there was just nothing. I was just like, I don't know. It just was a bit weak and unfocused overall. But we'll talk about that more at the end when we review the episode.
Indeed. And you can, if you want to communicate with us, say hello, let us know about the podcast, talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld. We have done a Seinfeld podcast in the past. If you want to talk about any of those shows, hit us up, curbcastpod@gmail.com. We are on Patreon if you want to donate $1 a month to help support the channel. Keep the lights on over at Mishmash Media. This is our burgeoning podcast network. If you want to help do that, that would be amazing. And we're on socials if you want to, you know, drop a message or whatever. Curbcast Pod. We're on pretty much most of the big social networks with that one. So check it out.
Yeah, totally. We're not on the new fandangled socials. We're not on the TikToks or the TokTiks or whatever, but we're on the...
And we're not on Parler or Rumble or, you know, any of those things. We're not going to have any like conspiracy videos about Larry David or the New World Order. So yeah, you won't find us there, sorry.
No, there's no QAnon content we're putting out. So just your traditional, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Just your traditional, 2000s social media, not these like fandangled new ones, TikToks and whatever.
Yeah, damn MySpace. What happened to our account?
I know.
We got shut out of MySpace.
Well, MySpace still exists, so we could actually make a MySpace. So we
could make like music and just put it up.
Yeah, we could do remixes of the Curb theme or something. That'd be fun. There you go. I've got DJ decks here in my room, so I'm looking at them right now. So I don't know how to mix, but I'm sure I could make some remix, or, you know.
I got an electronic drum kit. I can, you know, hook it up to MIDI, and I can do a few beats as well.
There you go.
I'll record those.
That's what we do now. Every week is a new remix. We're abandoning the standard episode analysis podcast. We're just doing a new remix every week. So
I love it.
That's what we do now.
Excellent. We'll remix an entire episode of Curb.
Indeed. And finally, before we crack on with the episode, if you want to help us out beyond Patreon, you can tell friends or family or anyone you might know who may like Curb or Seinfeld about us. That would be awesome. Word of mouth is usually the best way to increase our fandom. And you can rate us or review us on your podcast app of choice.
Indeed. Anyway, buddy, let's get into it, hey? The Korean Bookie. So, this episode aired in the US on HBO, November 27th, 2005. In this one, Larry takes his chances with a Korean bookie, hence the name of the episode. While Cheryl's friends get married on the beach, that's Mark and Marla from a couple of episodes ago, Larry accuses the Korean bookie of cooking up Jeff's dog Oscar and serving him for dinner. So, despite the controversial perceptions of Korean people, Stephen, this episode actually received a nomination in 2005. This episode was nominated for a Directors Guild of America award for outstanding directorial achievement in a comedy series.
Wow. Okay, that's considering there's been some really top quality Curb episodes this season. It's surprising that this one is the one that was nominated for that award. That's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit different because at the end of the episode, there was people, Larry was causing a commotion saying that they were eating dog meat and eating Oscar, and there was a whole stuff we don't usually see, like lots of chaos with lots of people. I mean, yeah, they took kind of, I guess, thinking about it, they did kind of take a few different directions for this episode.
No, that's true. It felt, maybe that's why it felt a bit, for me, unfocused. It just didn't feel completely unfamiliar, but it just felt a bit left of center. But for me, it just didn't, I like it when shows, take a few risks or make some choices that they don't normally make. But I just don't think it landed in this episode. But, what do I know? I'm not a director. So, yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You'll do your own film eventually, your own short film, and you'll submit it, to a film festival, and you'll win a lot of awards.
Yeah, I'll submit it to a film festival that I've created.
That's
so
right.
I'll be the only person on the voting committee, so I'll win.
Lovely.
And it will be terrible.
That'd be fantastic. I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit. In the first scene of the Korean Bookie, Larry is reading the newspaper in his living room as Cheryl says that they are late for Mark and Marla's barbecue on the beach. Larry wants to get a jacket, but Cheryl says that they're going to a beach with a bonfire and that Larry is overdressed. She says that Larry should apologize to Mark for accusing him of stealing his newspapers, and Larry says that he's already apologized before, even though we haven't really seen it. It must have been an off-screen thing. Oh, and also a reminder, actually, this is at night, I believe. They're going to the beach. Is that right?
Yeah, they're going to the beach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they're going to celebrate Mark and Marla, and they're going to the barbecue. Very small group, but that storyline about Mark being accused of stealing the newspapers, we suspected during a couple of episodes ago that he did do it, but back article on the back of the newspaper basically, what would you say, not vindicates, it absolves Mark of the crime.
Well, yeah, it absolves in the episode, but we sort of talked about it at the end of the episode. We both came to our own conclusions that happened to be the same, which was that we still think he did it, regardless of that newspaper article.
Mm-hmm. It was just a pure coincidence.
Totally, yeah. I think it was, I think he did have to leave that night to go perform his emergency surgery, but he still also stole the papers. And we'll find out that his fiance and soon-to-be wife is also a little thief as well.
A little thief as well. That's right. Yes, we will mention that right now. Actually,
maybe that's why they're attracted to each other. They're both little kleptos.
Yeah, they are. They're maniacs in more ways than one. The gang are at the bonfire on the beach, and Larry is cold. He wonders how you can eat burnt marshmallows, as everyone says that they are only toasted, even though a lot of them look like they're pretty, they've been in a house fire for quite a while. Larry heads to his car to get his jacket, as he's called. He walks to the car and he can't find it as he returns back to the group on the beach. A very small group, I think about 6 of them or something.
Yeah.
Larry says that the jacket is missing, as he said he put it in the backseat of his car. He's looking at Marla, who's wearing his jacket, which surprises him. And despite Larry's objections to her doing that, Cheryl downplays the situation. Mark announces to the group that their wedding will be on the beach, as everyone except Larry congratulates them as he's pissed off about his jacket. Larry is glaring at the jacket on Marla, and he eventually hugs Marla to congratulate. Very hesitantly, though. Larry is commenting to her on how cold it is on the beach and asks about the jacket. So he's basically, what it is Larry is trying to get the jacket off Marla in like a very subtle way.
Yeah, he's indirectly saying, give me my jacket back, by obviously saying, oh, it's very cold and I'm very, very cold and you've got my jacket and it's cold and you've got my jacket and it's cold. Yeah, he's asking her without asking her.
That's right. Marla says that she took it from one of the cars as she was very cold, and Larry says that's his jacket. He explains about his foresight to bring a jacket even though Cheryl mocked him for it. So Larry, sometimes he's 2-3 steps ahead of people, when he wants to be.
Yeah, sometimes his overthinking and his overanalyzing of situations can be a benefit to him. In this case, he thought. I feel like Larry is the sort of person who has a good sense of when he will feel uncomfortable, and I think he's not really much of a beach person. I mean, he's been to the beach a few times. He nearly drowned in the very first scene of this season.
He did in the Larry David sandwich. The very first scene of the season, yeah.
Exactly. Right. And, he saw was it his dentist wearing the thong or his...
Oh, that was a while ago. I think
that was season one, I think.
That was his, I think, psychiatrist?
His psychiatrist, yeah. That's
right. That was back in season 1, I think.
Yeah, yes. And, he was at the beach on a beach trip, but I wouldn't say he's much of a beach person. So he seems like the sort of person who, I think he is the sort of person who thinks ahead and goes, am I going to be comfortable at this situation? The beach, I think I am because, it's cold, it's windy, sand, etc. So he's self-aware enough to know that when he'll feel a bit gross and when he needs a jacket. So his overthinking in this case was a good choice.
Yeah, no, did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out for him anyway because he still couldn't use his jacket. But at least good on kudos to him for having the forethought of being cold at night by the water.
Absolutely. Marla asks if Larry wants his jacket back. And Larry says yes as she returns it. He notices a stain on it, which Marla says is part of a s'more. So for those who are outside of America or who've never heard of s'mores, even if you've been in America, which should be weird. A s'more is basically, what is it? It's like 2 graham crackers, marshmallow, and some chocolate. Is that right?
Yeah, it's basically a marshmallow little biscuit. Marshmallow, yeah, like you make your own marshmallow biscuit. So you cook a mushroom on the fire, and then you get the 2 graham crackers, stick them between. So the marshmallow is it's like a homemade marshmallow Oreo, I guess. Marshmallow filling, graham crackers are the 2 biscuits on the outside, and you eat it like a biscuit. And
absolutely delicious.
Yeah, a textural delight. Because you got the crunchiness of the s'mores. Of the graham cracker. The ooziness of the warm marshmallow, and combined all together. Whoever invented s'mores, fucking genius.
Good work, Mr. Small.
I think so.
I think so too. She offers to wash the jacket, as Larry says that he can't stand s'mores. So he's never really grown up with it, which makes sense.
No, it doesn't surprise me that Larry doesn't like s'mores for some reason, even though he doesn't say why, or he doesn't offer an explanation as to why he doesn't like it. It just feels right that he wouldn't like it, that he would poo-poo something that most people would find a bit of guilty pleasure in, or like it would be kind of nostalgic for them. He's not a sentimental person, so it kind of makes sense that he would just go like, ugh, no, that's for kids. Why would I do that? Like, he's a grumpy person, so it makes sense that he wouldn't be he wouldn't find s'mores as an adult fun, I guess. No. And he doesn't really, he doesn't really have much of a sweet tooth. You never really see him eating chocolate or lollies or, you know what I mean? Or candy.
He doesn't really have a sweet tooth, no.
No. I mean, he likes food, but he seems to go for more, savory things, I guess. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, do you think Marla was a bit entitled with the jacket?
I think so too, yeah. I think so, yeah.
She was really salty when she said, okay, Larry, do you want the jacket back? And Larry's like, yeah, I do. And she gave it back to him, and she just seemed really salty, and it's like, well, you're cold, and it is your day, and right, okay, but at the same time, it's still my jacket. It doesn't, just because it's your event doesn't mean you're entitled to my jacket. And you stole it out of my car.
Yeah, absolutely. She took it out of the car without asking. Yeah. I mean, if she went to go ask Cheryl and she said, yeah, that's fine, that makes perfect sense.
Totally.
But if say we were out somewhere and, I was cold and I went to your car and to take your jacket, you'd probably get pretty annoyed at me, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be too happy about it. You'd be like, you should just asked, me or my partner.
Yeah, I mean, if you were just freezing cold and you just had to get warm and you just saw a jacket and you took it, because you're like, I just needed a jacket, and I'd figure out whose it was after I got warm, I'd probably be like, oh, that's fine. You needed to get warm. You saw a jacket. Can I have my jacket back? But if you got salty when I wanted my jacket back, that's when I get pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is taking the jacket out of your car without permission.
Yeah.
Imagine if I just opened up your car door, and just grabbed the jacket. Would you be a bit weird
No,
Like, people feel a
well,
bit funny about it?
no, I don't think so. It depends how urgently you needed the jacket. Like I said, if you were super freezing, if you were just like, I just need to be warm now because I just can't tolerate being this cold.
I'm 2 steps away from hypothermia.
Yeah, like if it was critical, or or it sounds a bit dramatic, but like if you were just insufferably cold and you took a jacket and you knew that the jacket belonged to someone at the event and that you would eventually find out whose it was, I'd probably be like, oh, that's fine. Like, I got my jacket back. It's all good. You needed a jacket and you saw a jacket. That's totally fine. But if you got pissed off when I got my jacket back, that's when I'd get pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on how much you needed the jacket before taking it. If
you were like 2 steps away from hypothermia.
Yeah, it'd be like, that's fine. Like, you didn't need to ask. Like, I would probably do that if I was like shivering and I saw a jacket knowing that it belongs to someone, at this event. It's not like I'm just taking it from a random car, like, and it'll never get returned to its owner. I'd probably be like, you know what? I need to get warm. I'll just take this jacket. But if it was just like, oh, I'm a bit uncomfortable, maybe I could use a jacket. That's different. But yeah, I'd definitely get pissed off if you got pissed off at me wanting my jacket back. That's when it's just like, well, no, you've had the jacket for, an hour or 2 hours or whatever. You took it without asking. Now I want it back and you have no right to be upset about it.
Makes sense.
That was a very long explanation, but
That's but no. Long but thorough. It makes sense. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So basically, if you're good friends and you're freezing and you're too cold, your teeth are chattering, and you're too cold to make out the words, I'm cold, can I borrow a jacket? Just grab it.
Just grab it. Because if you knew that the jacket belonged to someone at the event and that eventually it would return to its owner, that's fine. It's like, but if it was just, if you were just walking down the street and took it from a random car, totally different.
I just think the funny thing is because Larry and Marla aren't close. I mean, Marla is more Cheryl's friend. I think that's what makes it really hilarious. That's why he gets pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just pissed off because he's like, well, it's not just that I'm cold and I want a jacket. It's just that I'm the only one who thought of bringing a jacket. So, I planned to wear this jacket and it's not available to me. That's salt in the wound, so to speak.
So salt from the beach straight into the wound.
Yeah, sand in the wound.
Sand in the wound, yep. Larry is lying in bed later in the evening as Cheryl tells him not to make a big deal about his jacket. As she says, it was Mark and Marla's special night and not about Larry. He argues that Marla should have brought a jacket, should have had the foresight to do it.
Exactly.
Cheryl tells him not to say anything. She says that the third little pig protected others in their house. Oh, we forgot to mention in the first scene that Larry mentions that he is the third pig, so he's got like the strong brick house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that in case you're wondering, 3 little pigs, what are you talking about? But Cheryl says that the third little pig actually protected others in their house as well. Basically implying that, Larry is like the strong type who's got the foresight who wants to protect himself, but Larry should also protect others like Marla, who are very vulnerable when they're cold. So it's kind of his obligation to give her the jacket.
Yeah, but I think Cheryl would be right if Larry was wearing the jacket and Marla came up and said, I'm really sorry. I forgot to bring a jacket. I didn't expect it to be cold. Can I please borrow your jacket? That's just a nice thing to do for someone, especially at, a special event for them. But that's not how it worked out. Marla didn't come up humbly and say, can I please borrow your jacket? I forgot to bring one. It's, here's your jacket back that I nicked from your car and now I'm going to get shitty when you ask for it back. Totally. So Cheryl's correct if it played out totally different. But in this case, I'm on Larry's side for sure. I think he had a right to be pissed off.
Bit of a dick move.
Totally. And it's funny that Cheryl was so on her side, that like Larry, it doesn't have to be like a big, huge deal that she took the jacket, like, shouldn't overtake the focus of the event. But Larry still had a right to be pissed off and make a point.
Yeah. Way it goes. And Larry says he makes a point saying that the other pigs didn't lock him out of his own house while he was stuck outside. So Larry, he's just trying to one up Cheryl for everything.
Yeah, he's just trying to win. That's common though.
Very. The next day, Larry is chatting to the Korean Bookie at his front door as Larry is explaining the 3 little pigs to him. The Bookie says that Larry owes $300 for betting on the Clippers who lost last night. He asked to bet on the Knicks and to put it out on his tab. How about those Knicks? Larry asks if he can pay by check, but the bookie accepts cash. They both walk in to his house and Susie, Cheryl and Oscar the dog are in the hallway. Larry says that Oscar has put on weight as Susie says that kind of talk could hurt his feelings. So Susie, despite being very cold to Larry, very sensitive to Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, you can't pick her. She's temperamental. She's like...
She's definitely mental.
Yeah. Yeah, without the temper part. Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's so concerned about Oscar's well-being and claiming that Oscar will feel hurt by Larry calling him fat, I think is a bit ridiculous. I call my cat fat all the time because my cat's fat.
The cat's fat.
Oh, she is. She's a little fat turd.
That's cute.
I mean, I love her. I love her to death, but she's still a little fat shit. She's a cat, like I wouldn't say that to another person I knew, like a kid or like, anyone I knew or loved, but a pet, it's like, I don't know, calling them fat, I don't think is going to upset them. I don't think they can understand you.
They don't even know what's going on. No idea, no clue. So yeah, no, even Larry's like, that's really weird.
That's so dumb. Yeah.
Yes. The bookie praises Oscar and asks where Susie lives, and Larry describes their house, which is only 2 blocks away. Like, goes into detail, saying exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Kind of freaks Susie out a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell Susie's trying to be evasive, like, oh, we live in the neighborhood, and Larry's like, this colored fence,
giving specific details.
Yeah, they live.
It's only 2 blocks from here.
Yeah, with this color fence, and I think he describes like the bricks or something. And Susie's like, "Oh, we live in the neighborhood." It's like, what are you doing, Larry? Like,
yeah, you're basically doxing them.
Yeah,
you idiot. I know. And the bookie looks at Oscar and calls him a beautiful dog. So we think, maybe he thinks he's a nice cut of meat.
Yeah,
that's what they want to go with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to suggest.
Where do you live?
Around the neighborhood.
Oh, no, they live about 2 blocks up. Big gray house with white columns. White columns? Yeah, can't miss it. It's right on the right side.
2 blocks?
Yeah.
Larry tells Jeff in his car that Oscar is fat as he asks Jeff to stop the car. He spots Ben's car, so Ben from last week's episode, the ski lift rather, and comments on never getting the dent fixed, even though Larry wrote a check for it. So he explains that Ben won't talk to him anymore after his daughter Rachel jumped off the ski lift from last episode. So Larry claims that he wrote a check, $1,500 to Ben to go fix the dent, but the dent is still there. So Larry feels a bit like a victim of fraud, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one for me because it's like once the money's handed over and it's money that is owed, like Larry did owe him money to fix the car. Like, does it, if I dinged your car and you said you owe me $1,500 and I gave you $1,500 in cash or whatever, as soon as I hand you over that money, it's your money now because it's money that I owe you, that I've paid you, and whether you get the car fixed or not is kind of...
Yeah, but I think you kind of give them the money on the pretense that you're actually going to be doing, like you're going to be using it for that sole purpose. I don't get where Larry's coming from. I don't know. It's a bit of a grey area.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? So say you owed, like I owed you money or for something.
Yep.
You think even though it was supposed to be for your car, you can just use it for something else?
I think so, because it's money that you owed me. Like, It doesn't come with... To me, it's like, it's not a bank loan. Like, if you get a bank loan out, it's for a purpose. Like, if you get a mortgage out, you can't just take $400,000 and go travel for 5 years. Like,
of course.
The bank is saying, here's money for a purpose. You've signed a contract. But if it's just like $1,000 or $2,000 between friends or, two adults, and it's not like a formal contracted thing, and it's just like settling a relatively small debt. Yeah, I don't think that obligation is as serious. So I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not leaning one way or the other, definitely, but I can understand both sides, I guess. I'm a bit torn.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on Larry's side.
Yeah.
I mean, even though, like, sure, Ben might eventually go fix the dent.
Yeah.
But the fact that Larry gave him the money and it's specifically for that purpose, I don't know. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way. It'd be a bit annoying. Yeah. Like if I owed you something to go fix something and then you went to go drinking with it instead, I'd be like, okay, well, don't ask me for any more money then.
Well, that's
already
my point. That's my point.
But I guess that's your point, isn't it?
That's my point. It's like if we've both agreed that you owe me $1,000, either for a car dent or whatever, like as far as you're concerned, all you're doing is giving me $1,000. Like that's your part of the process done. Like you've fulfilled your obligation. What happens afterwards? Yeah, it's a different story. If I come back to you and say, "Oh, sorry, I blew that money. Can I have more money?" That's like, well, no. That's you. No. I gave you your money, but as soon as the money's handed over, I'm just like, well, it's none of your business now.
None of your business, mate.
Yeah, none of your business. None of your beeswax.
None of your beeswax. I remember that one as a kid. It's classic.
None of your beeswax.
Nah. Ben is eating in the same diner, in the same chair as when he met Larry in the ski lift, and groans when he sees Larry walks in. I love Ben's reaction. He just kind of looks at him and goes, oh. He just does like a little grunt.
Oh, so he's very, very unhappy about Larry showing up.
He is. Larry tells him that the dint hasn't been fixed, and he's like, I gave you $1,500. I thought you meant to get it fixed. And Ben says it's none of your beeswax. And he said he gave the money to his daughter Rachel as he walks off. Larry tells Jeff outside about what happened, and Jeff agrees with Larry's take. Jeff gets a call from Susie and says that Oscar had 3 boxes of Oreos and he is at the vet and that he will die. Susie's words, he will die.
Very
3 boxes of Oreos for a dog.
That's a lot of Oreos. But I mean, can't dogs die from just a couple of squares of chocolate?
I think it depends when you get them treated. Like, I think if a dog eats like the chocolate right away and you take them to the vet, they can like put charcoal in their stomach to like, kind of dissolve it. But I think, I think if they have like a few bits of chocolate and you don't do anything, then they can probably die. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, 3 boxes of Oreo is a lot of chocolate.
That's a lot. Yeah. Plus the cream as well.
Exactly.
Not really good for a dog. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand why, and given how she was very upset with Larry's weight comments towards Oscar, I can understand why she's frantically calling Jeff and, not in a good way.
Yeah, my dog isn't fat. It'll hurt his feelings next minute. He eats 3 bucks.
Yeah, and it's like, I think the dog's got a bit of an eating disorder.
I think a little bit, yeah. Probably enable it.
Yeah, but then again, dogs are fucking garbage disposals. They'll sort of do anything.
Especially big dogs like Oscar.
Totally.
Anything like Labradors, Retrievers,
they
German Shepherds.
They eat their own shit.
Oh, if you let them, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't,
yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying they're not fussy. They're all garbage guts.
They are. Sometimes they recycle too if you let them.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I've seen them eat other species of animal shit.
Oh my god!
I've seen dogs eat cat shit, and it's like they don't care.
Yeah. Sometimes my dog might put possum poo in his mouth, and I just pick it up and I just take it out of his mouth. Like, no, bad dog. I like to call for those who are new to the podcast. I like calling Larry and Jeff the duo. So, if you hear me say the duo, I'm talking about Larry and Jeff. The duo are at the vet as Jeff walks into the exam room and Larry is in the waiting room. A man walks in with his caged pet and Larry asks him about the Knicks game and who won. The man says that the Knicks lost by 4 points in overtime. Bad luck. As Larry is stunned. Jeff, Cheryl, and Susie walk into the waiting room as Larry is visibly upset. Cheryl comforts him, thinking that he is upset about Oscar, and he says that Oscar will be okay. And Larry says to cover himself, he loves the dog. So Larry, he doesn't want to come off as insensitive where a dog could potentially die and he's more upset about losing a bet. So he kind of, Cheryl thinks that he's upset about Oscar and he kind of still goes with it. Yeah,
he does a pretty good job of, pretending that he's upset about the dog when he's very upset about losing money and losing the bet. It's quite smooth. As I was watching it the first time, I was expecting him to say something or for, them to realize that he's not actually upset about Oscar, but he carries it through.
He's genuinely upset. And we actually see him and he's very upset too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I just expected him to, let slip or say something or give some clue that he was actually upset about something entirely different. But, he convinces them and he remains convincing that he's actually upset about Oscar, not the bet loss.
No. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Larry, it's actually, and it's funny how we actually see that he's actually emotional. Like he actually looks like emotional.
Yeah, it's not often that he's sad or disappointed. It's usually either just cynical or it's usually irritated or I don't know, some other version of irritated.
Yes.
Occasionally he's happy. Like, Larry sometimes is he's got a bit of a spring in his step. He's a bit jovial, but mostly it's irritated or indifferent.
Indifferent, yeah, or very neurotic.
Yeah, or just like confused, like what the fuck? Why is this a thing?
Yes, that's our boy. Cheryl gives Larry a letter from Marla when they're back at home. As Cheryl opens it, and Larry's like, "You're opening my mail," which I kind of understand. If it's addressed to you, it should be you that opens it.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, even if you're married. It's an apology letter with a $150 check enclosed, which surprises Larry. He says it is a sincere gesture, and Cheryl appreciates that Larry actually recognizes this. She says that this was very touching, that Larry was that she was very touched about Larry being upset about Oscar, even though we know that he was actually upset about the Knicks game, as he says to her that he would do anything for that dog, like Meatloaf, I guess. I would do anything for that dog, but I won't do that. Yeah, it's probably something like that. Rest in peace, big fella.
Yeah.
Cheryl kisses him and gives him the look, as in, let's fuck. And they make out some more, which makes Larry very happy. He's like, day sex. Geez, not often this happens. This is a bonus.
Yeah, he, Larry's always complaining that he wants more sex. But, I think it's fair to say he's got a higher sex drive than Cheryl. Except, actually, more recently, she's, it's been the other way around. But overall, I think he's been the hornier one. But, it's pretty easy to figure out. Just be emotional and she'll want to fuck you more.
Exactly. Just get in touch with your, gentler side and you're all good, mate.
Yeah, you'll have as much sex as you want.
Oh, lovely. If only it were that easy. Susie and Jeff are looking for Oscar as Larry walks in, and Susie asks if he saw him. Susie says that Oscar is missing, and she walks off. Jeff walks in the room. Larry suspects that the bookie could have stolen Oscar for food as he was drooling all over the dog. He says he'll go over and suss it out as he owes the bookie some money, and Jeff is disgusted at the idea that his dog could be cooked up and eaten. Larry goes to the bookie at his flower shop, so the bookie's actually, I think, a florist. That's his day job, right?
Yeah, it looks like a florist. I couldn't. Yeah.
So being a bookie is probably his side gig then.
Maybe the florist is his front job. His front, like it's a good front or something for all of his cash. Because I don't imagine being a bookie is legit.
And they got like cockfighting and dogfighting downstairs. They got like a pit.
Yeah.
Under the forest.
Yeah, because usually bookies, I mean, maybe not all bookies, but I think most people would associate bookies like not hardened criminals, but sort of like on the edge of criminality, like just in that gray zone between like being straight and being a criminal. So, it would make sense, I think, him having a front organization. Like, it's a legitimate business, but I wouldn't be surprised if he, mixes his bookie earnings with his florist earnings and just, muddies the waters a bit for tax purposes or...
Yeah, he launders the appropriate amount of money.
Yeah, because I imagine a florist would be, mostly cash. People would just pay $20 for a bunch of flowers, and it'd be a good business to do that with.
Yeah, he'd be, he'd definitely be in the know with some really shady people.
I think so. Yeah, and it's also such such an innocent, wholesome business that I think it would be. You wouldn't look at a florist and go, "Oh, I think there's something dodgy going on there." You would look at a florist and be like, "Oh, that's nice. They're flowers and it's sweet." You know what I mean? Like, it's a good. Yeah. If it is a cover business, I think it's a smart choice.
A very smart choice. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's very savvy. He knows what's up.
Mm-hmm. Bookie gets off the phone to a couple who wants a wedding at the beach, and Larry says he knows the couple who want it. He opens his wallet and he doesn't have the cash for the bookie. We find out his name is Sung. But he has a check for $150, which he will transfer to Sung. Larry asks for a $300 bet on the Celtics to win, and Sung takes a bite of his sandwich as Larry asks what he's eating, and he says, fresh meat. Larry says that Oscar is missing as Sung praises the dog. Larry asks him if he knows anything about Oscar, as Larry gives him one of his trademark stare downs for 30 seconds and walks off. So we think that maybe Sung ended up cooking Oscar. Yeah,
that's what it's all pointing to. And it's weird that he doesn't say specifically what sort of meat he's got on his sanger. If you're eating a sanger and I'm like, oh, what do you got on that? And you just said meat. Oh, yeah, what sort of meat? Fresh meat. Just like, well, what's the animal? Fresh. He is being a bit evasive. I can understand why Larry's a bit. Let's face it, he's being straight up racist. But he's also not getting a clear cut answer. So I guess there is some grounds of him going, well, maybe
you're doing something dodgy.
Maybe. Yeah. So, but he shouldn't jump to that conclusion, I think.
No.
Oh. Mm-hmm. What are you eating, son?
Larry, this is a fresh meat. It's quite delectable.
What kind of meat?
The best kind. Only the best for Song.
So, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Oscar's missing.
Everyone is at the beach wedding. Jeff is chatting to Larry, who's wearing a wide-brimmed hat. Jeff says that he saw Ben's car parked near the beach as he teases Larry about his hat. Larry says that there are some big bosoms everywhere he looks. Larry says that they're likely Mark's clients. He spots Sung arranging the flowers as they also notice Rachel, who has had a boob job. Rachel being Ben's daughter, for those who don't remember or need a reminder. Larry suspects that $1,500 could have been used for the boob job. Mark walks up to Larry and comments on Rachel's breasts. She says that the surgery would have brought more joy into her social interactions. And I think, wasn't it Ben that convinced her to get the boob job? That's a bit weird.
Yeah, but he also...
Rachel's quite an introverted gal.
Yeah, the relationship, I think I might be wrong here, but my understanding of Orthodox Jewish culture is that it's very patriarchal. That the patriarch of the family, the father has a lot of say and makes a lot of decisions for everyone else, especially I guess the women. Like a lot of more I guess traditional or Orthodox religions, that the men tend to be the decision makers. So I don't think I don't think it would happen in real life, but it doesn't seem completely out of line with two very devoted Orthodox Jews. But yeah, it's still a weird decision to make for your daughter to improve her social interactions. Like she's gonna get more attention, but she's not gonna get the attention that he wants for her.
No, she's gonna get a lot more attention, but not the one that he wants.
If anything, it's gonna make her social life less pleasant because she's probably going to be getting a lot of creeps coming up, not not nice potential men who could become her her partner or whatever. So yeah, I think he misjudged that one.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, pretty badly. Larry says that her boobs are too big for her body, and he wishes her good luck with them. As she says that they have done her well. Mark comments saying Rachel is one of his best patients, and Larry says he went too big for her, even though he likes them. He comments that he paid for them, that Larry paid for them when it should have been for the car, and Rachel says that what he paid Ben probably would have only covered the lower portion of her left breast, as it cost a lot more than $1,500.
Yeah,
I was going to say $1,500 for a boob job. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'd be concerned if it only cost $1,500. It's like, well, what did they put in there?
What back alley surgeon did you go
to?
Yeah,
that's a bodgy boob job.
Yeah, exactly. It's like remember that show Nip Tuck?
Yeah,
and there was I think it was first or second season. There's that used to be a colleague of one of the surgeons, but he lost his license and he does back alley boob jobs and stuff, and he's really dodgy and he kills a patient by accident. He's just and he's got unsanitary equipment and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty. It kind of would probably remind me of someone who charges only $1,500 for a boob job.
Yeah.
They'd probably be in some back alley in LA or something.
Yeah, cash, no questions asked, in some dodgy surgery, makeshift surgery in a strip mall or something. Yeah, totally. And yeah. I mean, they're pretty big as well, and I'm imagining the bigger the boob job, the more expensive it is. I imagine a D cup boob job's probably more expensive than a B cup boob job because it's more work and more silicon.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, $15 seems very, very underpriced.
Yeah, that's why she says it would only cover the lower portion of one of her breasts.
And I like how she's it's not just it's one small part of one breast.
Yeah, I know. It's not even one breast.
Yeah,
especially in LA. And plus he'd be a private surgeon, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they'd be going to some top tier surgeons. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Ben's the head of the kidney consortium at the hospital. So he's on pretty good money.
Yeah, totally.
Rachel walks off in disgust along with Mark. Larry asks a guest nearby if the Celtics won. That was his last bet. The man says that they lost by 3 points, and Larry once again starts crying and gets upset. Cheryl and Susie spot him again and ask what's wrong because they think he's still upset about Oscar. And the man next to him says that he told him the Celtics lost as they both glare at him. He walks off sheepishly to get his coat. Love it. Mark and Marla are saying their I do's at the altar. Mark says I do. Marla is about to say I do, but she looks at Larry's stained jacket and asks where his new jacket is. He says he didn't buy the jacket as Marla says the check was for his new one. And they begin arguing and the whole crowd get involved. So there you go. So Marla, she gave Larry the money in the hope of getting the jacket, but Larry still has the stained jacket. So she probably thinks he used the $150 for something else. Again, another conundrum.
Yeah. And, Larry's being a bit...
like a chicken or egg kind of scenario.
Yeah, I think Larry's being a bit hypocritical because he's upset all throughout the episode that Ben didn't use the $1,500 to repair his car, but he also didn't use $150 to buy a new jacket. And he was clearly, the note clearly said, this is to buy you a new jacket. So Larry's, being a bit hypocritical there.
A little bit hypocritical, yeah, exactly. So that kind of voids his argument, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's well, don't what is it? He who is without sin may cast the first stone. Is that what the saying is?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. He who is without obligation,
the jacket will freeze to death.
Yeah, he who is without obligation, financial obligation, may replace the first jacket. Something like that.
Confucius, 1855.
Yeah. Napoleon, 1426.
Yeah. Abraham Lincoln, 2003. Spot on.
Mahatma Gandhi, 27 BC.
27 BC. They don't call it BC anymore, do they? Isn't it like CE?
I think it's
or something?
BCE or BCE, something like that. Yeah. Marcus Aurelius, 1976.
Yeah, 1976. Yeah, 1976 BC.
Yeah.
Exactly. Larry and Jeff, this is after the ceremony. Larry and Jeff are eating a delicious meal on the beach. They're really commenting on how nice it is. A lady says that it is a Korean meat dish. Larry spits out the food and he says to everyone, he yells that they're all eating a dog as everyone spits out the food and everyone runs off in panic and they are very horrified. So, yeah, so we suspect that they are eating dog, but we find out in the next scene that's not the case. But yeah, Larry causes a huge commotion. So everyone just get disgusted. I think a couple of people start throwing up. It's a calamity.
Totally. He completely ruins the day, the event. It's done.
It's all done. Yeah. Mark and Marla's special day is not so special anymore.
No, it's overtaken by accusations of a dog being served to everyone.
What a dog of a day, huh?
What a dog act.
A dog? Yeah, dog. What a dog.
He went barking mad.
Barking mad. Oh my goodness. In the final scene, the Davids are in their car about to leave the beach and Larry starts driving. He spots Oscar running past the car as Larry hits Ben's car once again, this time on the other side. He puts a dent in it as well. And Larry gets out, writes another note for him, and he leaves it on the windshield. So obviously, the bookie Sung never ate Oscar. It was just like Larry's racial beliefs. So yeah, Oscar is fine.
Oscar's fine. I don't know what he's doing down at the beach there, but yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's he doing there? That's kind of odd. I don't know. Maybe he went missing and ran to the beach. Or maybe he could smell Jeff and Susie on the scent somehow and found them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could imagine him hurtling to the beach to go to Jeff and Susie. And they'd be so happy to see him.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, as long as he's okay, though.
Yeah, as long as he's okay. And then he'd start eating the meat and everyone's like, oh my God, this dog is eating dog meat. Yuck. Until they're told what's happening. Yeah. And that's the end of the episode, buddy. I give this one out of 5 Larrys. We rate every episode out of 5 Larrys. I give this one 3. I think this is my lowest rated episode of the season. A little bit, like you said, not really much structure. A couple other things as well. I don't know. I didn't really feel it this episode. What about you?
Yeah, I'm the same. I give it 2.
2.
Yeah, I think it's by far my least favorite episode of the season, probably bottom 2 or 3 throughout the whole run of the show so far. I wouldn't call it a total dud, but there was I think what really let it down is just the topic, Asian people eating dogs, and that being an affront to, Western culture is... I don't know, like I think I was saying at the top of the episode that, Curb has an ability to mine humor out of topics that have been done to death and offer like a take on it that's fresh and, kind of like revitalizes that topic. But for some reason, Larry just straight up thinking that his Korean Bookie ate dog and served it to everyone. It just felt like a very lazy expression of that sort of more tired stereotype.
A little bit off-putting.
Yeah. So I think they could have just tried a bit harder to deal with that topic, but just try something a bit different or handle it a bit more intelligently. It was just it felt very clumsy and lazy. Yeah, I don't know. Just didn't really grab me that much. And, I think I said it as well. The last 2 or 3 episodes, the first time I watched them, I thought it was average, but they got better each time. This one didn't. I didn't like it less, but I just thought, I was like, yeah, this was a bit of a fizzer for me.
Yeah, weren't really a fan.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Again, not terrible. It's not like, oh my God, that was awful, but it just
didn't do it for you.
Just didn't land.
Fair. Oh well, can't win everyone, can we?
Nope.
Anyway, that was the Korean Bookie, and we're going to be doing the final episode of season 5, The End, which I actually watched today. It's a lot different to other Curb episodes. For those who don't remember it, the 5th season finale. Lots of interesting things happen, Steve. So I won't tell you what happens, but you'll find out when you watch it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I look forward to watching it and talking about it next week with you.
Absolutely, me too, buddy. You can find us on social media if you want to drop in and say hello or give us a follow. We're on the major social media sites. The older legacy ones, I guess, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those kind of ones. Curbcast Pod. You can email us if you want to talk about Curb, Seinfeld, or anything else going on. Curbcastpod@gmail.com. And we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Mishmash Media. Mishmash Media is the name of our burgeoning podcast network. And because we can't provide you with any extra content like we used to when we did Bidwabask, our old podcast, we are just asking for $1 a month if you wish to become a patron. And hopefully later later in the year, we can provide some more content and add some more tiers to really make it worth your while to join. So yeah, any support would help us. If you don't want to give money or you can't, that's okay. You can leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast service. Ideally 5 stars would be amazing. And that helps with the algorithm. So when people search Curb Your Enthusiasm, will be on top of the list, which would be great.
Yeah, that's right. Or any of those ways would be awesome if you could support us.
Indeed. My name's Ivan.
And I'm Stephen.
We'll catch you next week for the final episode of Season 5 as we wrap up another season on this podcast. We're going to talk about the end. And take care of yourselves and each other.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening. This podcast is part of Mishmash Media, an independent podcast network. Follow us on social media at Mishmash Media AU or support us on Patreon. All those links are in the show notes.